Alright, so after referring to the MS SQL 2008 Management Pack Guide, the Word document that you'll get, you'll want to go ahead and make your login accounts, your domain login accounts. And once you've done so, you can take this example of this script here and just run it on the MS SQL server that you're going to be setting up the low privilege accounts on, so that you'll be able to scan the databases. So you're going to want to go ahead and do that script, and then allow SQL MP Low Priv group to log on locally. Alright, so we're going to want to add our logins that we created our domain accounts with as MS SQL logins. And the first step is going to be to add the SQL Low Priv group. Give it the user mappings to all the databases. Go into MSDB and allow for SQL agent reroll. Next, we're going to run a script that a DBA, SQL DBA gave me to grant the proper permissions that the management pack discusses. Execute that, and commands completed successfully, as you can see. That's a good sign. Now we go and create another login, and we're going to add the SQL default action. Go to user mappings, give it access to the databases, and then go down there to the SQL agent reroll. Add that. Next, we want to change the script to SQL default action for the grant view state and grant view new definition. And we're going to execute this as well. Completed successfully. If you don't take the steps to do this, you basically get a bunch of authentication failures against the databases from SCOM. So it's a good idea to get this set up beforehand, before importing the database, or basically before importing the management pack. So now we've successfully added our users to the local groups, and we have the permissions set on the database. Alright, so now we want to check on the health service of the SQL server that we're going to be targeting. And I had not had the agent running, so I've just done that, restarted the health service, and then that kind of expedited connecting to the management server. So now we're going to go to the administrative wonder bar, and we're going to import management pack, and we're going to get the MS SQL management pack there. So you type in SQL Server, go down to 2008, get Discovery, Monitoring, and Core Library. Make note of the Chinese and all the other languages. You don't want to just get all of the MS SQL at the root, or else you'll get a bunch of extra languages and whatnot. And the reason Server Core Library failed is because I already had that installed. But you should not get that error unless you had it installed as well for a previous edition of SQL. And the remainder of this will be setting up the run as accounts within SCOM. And the reason I want to put these videos together are in part to, I guess, spread some information in the community, but also feel like it would be a good opportunity for other SCOM gurus to look it over and validate just how well of a job I did. So we can also expect some commentary on the videos as well, either a thumbs up or hey, you should be doing it this way. So look forward to seeing what people have to say about this setup. It shouldn't take much longer. I didn't do any time-lapsing for this video here, or at least for this portion of it. And I'm happy to report that bumping the RAM up in the lab did to increase the performance as I thought. So that's always good. Alright, let's go ahead and close this out. So in the administrative pane, we are going to go to accounts, and we're going to set up some run as accounts. And actually it looks like I already had them created, so I'm just going to delete them out, then recreate them so that I can show you the process. So we're going to create a run as account, and we'll choose one of the three that we've created and put our Windows credentials in, making sure to pick the correct domain down below. And I always choose more secure. That way you get to pick what servers you want to target this against. And we'll just basically repeat these steps for each of the accounts that we created. Of course, be careful for fat fingering your password. At least Microsoft's gracious enough to not let us continue without typing the right password in. And we'll go and wrap this up with the last account. And now we're going to go to profiles. So basically we've created the run as accounts to match up with the profiles, and if we type SQL here, it'll narrow it down to the 3 profiles that we basically created the run as accounts for. We're going to target those. And this is where I would definitely appreciate some community feedback here. But essentially, I've been just choosing the computer object. So now that we've targeted the profile to the computer that the MS SQL and user groups were modified on, I'm going to hit save. And now we are prompted to apply the run as to this profile. So we're going to also target the computer that we made the changes to earlier. Hit apply, then close. And we're going to repeat this process for the discovery account as well as the monitoring account. So we hit add, pair up the run as, grab the computer account, And finally, the last run as and profile account to work with. Now essentially what will happen if you do not pair the computer to the profile and the run as account, you'll get a bunch of MS SQL login failures. It'll basically say that it couldn't apply the run as to the computer, to the targeted computer. So that's why we want to kind of narrow down in a more secure fashion, if you will, where this run as account tries to apply its credentials. So now we'll just browse through the MS SQL section. And you'll notice this is not monitored. As SCOM starts to discover the various servers, you will start to see those health bubbles populate. And here's an interesting one. I see an actual alert that came through for one of my MS SQL servers. It says that the lab config man, that the SQL integration services is stopped. So why don't we take a look at this? And that was not intentional, so this is actually a good example of how SCOM can help you find potential problems relatively quickly in your environment. I don't claim to be a DBA. A lot of these steps that I've been doing were kind of given to me by an SQL DBA, so I don't even know if integration services is supposed to be running or not, but being that SCOM noticed that it was marked for automatic startup, it definitely thinks that it should be running. So yeah, it looks like it's right. Go ahead and give this a start. See what happens. And there you go. It has started, so let's go ahead and return to SCOM. And see if our SQL error went away or not. And you'll notice there, we've got our run as account does not exist on target computer. And I believe that just kicked off before we could target the run as successfully, but I will sit back and watch for an abundance of these type of errors, and we'll know with a little more certainty whether or not we've targeted our accounts just to that one particular server. And once again, I'd look forward to any sort of community feedback to tell me if you guys agree or disagree with the way that I interpreted the MS SQL management pack. And I'm going to go ahead and close that. That was a rule, not a held state, so it will never go away unless we manually clear it. Of course, as you can see, some more servers are popping in. None of those alerts appear to be MS SQL related. And so this concludes our Operations Manager 2012 SQL Server 2008 MP and a demonstration of using low privileged run as accounts. This has been a console intersection production, and I hope you enjoyed it.